I like them strong, like my coffee. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about how to travel and work as a personal trainer around the world. First and foremost, like always, I want to apologize for all the noise that you guys can hear. There is always construction happening in and around where I live, so it's something that I have to kind of tend to compromise with, so I really apologize for the noise. But on a better note, this is something that I have been asked about quite a lot and something that I absolutely love talking about because I do love my job. I have always loved it. I got into it about 8 or 9 years ago, prior to which I had a personal trainer, and I was just one of those clients who always wanted to be like the strongest female in the room. I wanted to be the strongest person in the room. Like, even if the strongest guy was lifting like double his body weight, I wanted to lift triple my body weight. So I've always kind of been like that, where I've chased after strength training, and that's kind of how I started. In Canada, if you want to work as a personal trainer, the most simplest way of doing it is CanFit Pro. So CanFit Pro, you have to go through the course and then you do a practical exam and then you do a written exam. To work as a personal trainer, you actually also need your CPR and first aid so that in case there's ever an emergency, your client falls to the floor, you can save them. Fortunately, I've never had to do that. I think the worst thing that's happened is like a client will faint because of low blood sugar, or they throw up because you train them way too hard. But if your client is always throwing up, then there's obviously a bigger concern. It's only happened to me like I think 2 or 3 times, but you know, it does happen and it's not a reason for worry. So if you want to go through the longer course, you can actually go to college and you can do a diploma in health and like fitness management. I think it's called something like that. I will put the links to all the stuff that I talk about down below so you guys can actually read up and have more access to that information. When I went to UK and I worked, all I needed to show them was my CPR, my first aid, and my current certification from Canada. I actually didn't need to do anything new. That was really cool, but the gym I worked at there was very, very small. Like, I kind of just worked on campus, so there wasn't much required. And this was back in 2010, I believe. So I don't know if the rules have changed, but I also think that depending on the size of the gym you work with, as long as you have your certification, your first aid, and the gym has some kind of insurance, you are okay to work. When I was in Australia, however, the process was a little bit longer. I actually had to go and like connect with a certifying body in Australia, and they need an outline of all the courses you've done. They need you to do a brand new first aid and CPR in Australia, because in Australia the first aid and CPR actually requires you to know about like spiders and snakes and all that sort of stuff, so we went over that. The sort of transference process for me, I think it took about like a month or two, where I had to contact Canada, I had to get the course outline, I had to send it to the institute in Australia, and then they kind of called me and gave me a heads up. Like, they were like, okay, you have the green light, you can go ahead and start working. I went through a company called Physical Activity. They've changed their name a couple times, and I'll try and find their like most recent name and link it down below. If not, there is the Fitness Institute of Australia, which is the more common one, and that's kind of what most people do. Surprisingly though, like, the certification process through them is actually a couple $1,000s, whereas if you want to do like CanFit in Canada, I think it's like $400 or $500 to get certified as a trainer. I don't know like what the Australian course is like. The thing is, if you go through CanFit Pro, it's very, very brief. Like, it doesn't really explain everything to you. So if you really want more comprehensive information, I would still probably go to the health and fitness management course in college and actually just get a little bit more information about the field and the industry if you're absolutely brand new to it. If you are in the US, you need either the ACE course or the NASM course, which is like the personal training thing. I think both of them actually also offer the online examination option, which is really cool. I don't know how the practical component of that would work, but I guess you just kind of have to look at videos and stuff like that. So if you ever like have taken or know anyone who's certified in strength and conditioning, that's the way it works, where you have to watch everything online and you have to answer, and they examine you through videos where they'll make you watch a video and they'll ask you a question pertaining to that. When it comes to the visas that I used for working as a personal trainer in these countries, in the UK, I did it as a student. If you have watched my previous videos, you probably know about why I was in a lot of countries all over the world. When I was in Australia, I worked as a personal trainer initially on a working holiday visa, and then I was studying and I continued working as a personal trainer, and then after that I got sponsored by a really shitty company, Snap Fitness, and they screwed me over there. So I don't know what that company's like in Canada and the US, but it was just, I wouldn't recommend it. I have not worked in the US, but I do know their certification process because it is also accepted sort of more willingly worldwide than the Canadian certification. So if you have the American certification in personal training, you can actually go to more countries more easily than you can with the Canadian certification. How much can you earn with a personal training like career? You know what? I know places that will pay their personal trainers like $10 an hour, but I also know trainers who earn upwards of $100 an hour. It really depends on the sort of work you do. When you start as a personal trainer, you're obviously going to be more sort of like general, where you're going to be doing more fat loss stuff. All your clients will be doing like bicep curls and push-ups and squats and stuff like that. It's when you start becoming more and more specialized that you can charge more money because you are offering a very premium service. It also depends on your experience, the sort of certifications you do. In order to maintain your personal training certification, every year you have to do a certain amount of CECs. So they're like continuing education credits, and you have to do courses and all that sort of stuff. If you stop doing those courses, you lose like your personal training certification, and you're not allowed to train people anymore as far as like career or work is concerned. So you have to get those courses, and that's kind of where you can choose what you want to be specialized in. Like, there's some trainers who specialize in like bodybuilding, there's some trainers who specialize in just fat loss. They run like boot camps and they're very like excited and animated. For me, I'm more into powerlifting, strength training, and I work with people who have like spinal injuries or anything like that. So I am very, very specific on the strength and rehab stuff. So I probably charge a little bit more than like your average like commercial personal trainer. I have worked with a lot of companies. Like, I worked with Good Life in Canada for a long time, and then I worked with Fitness First in Australia. The gym I worked with in UK again was just on campus, so it wasn't like a big deal. But I think there are benefits to working with bigger companies because they can help you get clients, they can help you make more money, they help you like build more confidence and comfort in talking to clients. when you are working on your own, there's obviously a lot more work that you have to do. So hopefully this is like a quick little introduction to the personal training world for you guys. If you guys have any questions about this, leave them down below. And if you have any other requests that I can sort of answer, also leave those down below. I get a lot of emails asking about videos and like when they're going up. I always say to click on the little bell that's kind of like in this area. It's like a little tiny bell. Just click on it so that anytime a new video goes up, you guys are in the first to know. Other than that, I will keep more videos coming to you guys on a more regular basis. I thank you so much for your continued love and support. Always remember there is enough room for all of us to succeed, to live the life we want. Don't forget to share this video with anyone who could use the help. I really hope I'm bringing each of you a little bit closer to your dreams, to traveling to the country you want to be in, and to live the life you want to live. Think strong always, and until next time, take care. Bye!